Jean recently tied the knot with Anna. He walked down the aisle as Megan, his feminine alter ego, adorned in a stunning white satin wedding ensemble. Anna had long been aware of Jean's dual identity and had shown unwavering support throughout their relationship. With the wedding festivities over, it was time to refocus on neglected aspects of life. One such neglected aspect was my spouse Alan, or rather, my beautiful Ellen. Despite her role as Anna's matron of honor, Ellen seemed somewhat overlooked amidst the wedding preparations, as my attention was primarily directed towards helping Jean with his big day. There were moments when I sensed a longing in Ellen's gaze, perhaps wishing she could experience the same joyous attire as Megan did during the celebrations. Both Alan and Ellen hold a special place in my heart. Even before discovering Alan's femme persona, I sensed a gentleness in him that set him apart from stereotypical masculinity. Had I known about Ellen earlier, I would have understood the yearning in his eyes when I changed out of my wedding gown, reminiscent of the longing I saw directed towards Megan on her special day. Maybe Ellen could have had the opportunity to wear my gown while I adorned my wedding negligee. Now seemed like the perfect time to fulfill Ellen's desires. Hopefully, Jean and Anna would be supportive of my plans. Following his disclosure to me shortly after Megan and Anna's wedding celebrations about his femme persona Ellen, I've been assisting Alan with his packing for business trips. Alongside the usual business attire, I always ensure there are some elegant satin lingerie sets, a couple of outfits, and a satin nightgown or two packed in his suitcase, allowing him to embrace his Ellen side during his downtime. He consistently expresses appreciation for my consideration upon his return home. It was during one of Alan's business trips that I arranged a dinner with Megan and Anna. I intended to share my plans for creating special experiences for Ellen and sought their input on the matter. Lily, our daughter, was thrilled to have her Aunt Megan and Aunt Anna over. Throughout dinner, she entertained them with her lively chatter. However, before dessert, I politely asked Lily to retire to the family room to read, promising her an extra treat later. She eagerly agreed and settled down with her books, granting us the opportunity for a private conversation. I began discussing Ellen's upcoming birthday and my desire to give her a meaningful gift. I recalled how, at Anna's bridal shower, Jean had embraced his feminine persona as Megan, wearing a charming black satin French maid's uniform while assisting with serving and cleanup. Ellen had gazed wistfully at the maid's attire, hinting at her own desire for such a uniform. For her birthday celebration, I envisioned a small gathering with Mom, Megan, Anna, the Millers, and Ellen dressed as a French maid. I asked Megan if she'd be willing to wear her satin uniform again, to which she gladly agreed, especially for Ellen's special day. Anna suggested a local seamstress, Joan, who could create a custom uniform tailored to Ellen's measurements, as she had done for Megan. With a turnaround time of just 2 weeks and the option to choose any satin color, this arrangement would allow us to have the uniform ready before the party. Megan expressed enthusiasm for the idea, believing it would be a delightful surprise for Ellen. Having settled the first surprise, I moved on to reveal my second planned surprise. I asked Megan if she recalled the moment of her creation. With a fond expression, Megan recounted the unforgettable occasion when she served as a bridesmaid at my wedding and later, when she adorned my bridal gown upon my return from the honeymoon. She expressed profound gratitude for those cherished memories and wondered if I intended to replicate the experience for Ellen. I nodded affirmatively, eager to offer Ellen the profound feminine thrill of being a bride after her previous role as matron of honor for Anna. Megan and Anna shared in my excitement at the idea of Ellen experiencing the bridal role. Anna, intrigued by Megan's previous account of wearing white, urged her to recount the details. Megan nostalgically reminisced about the special day adorned in satin and lace, recalling how I persuaded her to be a bridesmaid and how delightful the gown and lingerie felt against her skin. Anna's fascination with Megan's beginnings was evident. After Megan finished her recounting of her dual roles, she inquired if Ellen would wear my bridal gown or if I preferred to borrow hers for the occasion. Grateful for Megan's generous offer, I explained that Ellen wearing my wedding gown would hold more sentimental value. I then asked both girls if they would serve as Ellen's bridesmaids, to which they readily agreed without hesitation. Anna even suggested they go shopping for the perfect bridesmaids' gowns, much to Megan's delight. We deliberated on the optimal timing for celebrating Ellen's bridal moment. Considering her birthday fell on a Saturday and her frequent business travels during the week, we concluded that the Saturday following her birthday would be most suitable. We also discussed arranging for a photographer to capture the memorable moments and securing floral arrangements from our preferred florist. Additionally, we decided that I would serve as Ellen's matron of honor, donning my gold satin gown previously worn at Megan's wedding, while the girls would wear bridesmaids' dresses coordinated with my attire. We thought it would be lovely for Lily to participate in the celebration, wearing her flower girl dress. As our conversation progressed, I lost track of time until Lily interrupted, reminding us about dessert. I assured her that our discussion was concluded, and in appreciation for her patience, she would receive the promised extra portion of dessert. Megan and Anna showered her with hugs and compliments for being understanding. Lily beamed with joy as she settled down at the table, eagerly anticipating her sweet treat. In the week following the dinner with my sibling and her spouse, I paid a visit to GOWNS tailor shop, renowned for its custom tailoring for both genders. I mentioned Anna's referral, which instantly sparked recognition in her. As I outlined my request, she nodded knowingly. However, to prevent any misconceptions, I clarified that my desire for a satin French maid's uniform for my spouse wasn't rooted in dominance, but rather in his enjoyment of feminine attire and expressing his softer side in our home. Though initially surprised by my explanation, Joan readily accepted my order. She even expressed appreciation for a man embracing his feminine side. Once we redirected our focus, Joan requested Ellen's measurements and the desired uniform color, displaying an array of satin samples, spanning a spectrum of colors. While drawn to several hues like white, pink, light blue, dark blue, and light green, I eventually settled on lavender, though I knew Ellen also looked stunning in dark green satin, as evidenced by her matron of honor gown. Joan inquired if there were any additional items I wished to include in my order. I requested matching satin lingerie, comprising panties, a bra, camisole, and garter belt. Upon her assurance that she could accommodate my request, I placed an order for the uniform and lingerie in lavender satin adorned with white lace. Additionally, I ordered a lacy white apron, a maid's cap, and 2 starched white crinolines. When Joan asked for the deadline, I specified 2 weeks before Ellen's birthday and provided the date. She assured me of timely completion, and after leaving a 50% deposit, I received confirmation that the uniform, lingerie, and crinolines would be ready. Before concluding, Joan expressed curiosity about Ellen, as her usual clients were either men coerced into feminine attire by dominant women or men seeking such garments for personal enjoyment. She was intrigued by my compassionate approach in obtaining women's clothing for my partner. Responding to her queries, I explained that my love for Alan transcended his choice of attire. Whether clad in feminine garments or traditional menswear, he remained the same person at heart. His fondness for feminine attire was a source of attraction rather than repulsion for me. Assisting him in expressing his feminine side was a testament to my love and acceptance. Therefore, acquiring the maid's uniform and lingerie for Ellen was merely another means of demonstrating my affection for both Alan and Ellen. After addressing all of Joan's inquiries, she appeared to gain a deeper understanding of Ellen, acknowledging the significance of sharing such experiences with a deeply loved partner. I affirmed that it was indeed a rewarding experience. Joan expressed her anticipation of seeing me again in a few weeks once everything was completed. My next destination was a shoe store known for its selection of higher-heeled women's shoes. I provided the saleswoman with the size and color specifications for the heels I desired. She presented several styles in varying heel heights and assured me that if the store lacked the desired color, they could dye a pair of white heels to match my specifications. Among the options, I particularly admired a pair of pumps with 4-inch heels in the exact shade of lavender that would complement Ellen's new uniform perfectly. Alongside the lavender heels, I also purchased a pair of white 4-inch heels and several pairs of black stockings, including both seamed and seamless varieties. Following my visit to the shoe store, I proceeded to the bridal salon with the intention of finding a veil for Ellen, despite her wearing my wedding gown. Describing the gown to the sales associate, I browsed through various veil styles, ultimately selecting one adorned with a circle of white satin roses and a fingertip blusher. Alongside the veil, I purchased white stockings embellished with doves and wedding bells, satin panties and bra featuring lace and wedding bell appliques, Ellen's bridal garter, and a beautiful white satin and lace negligee for her to wear later, ensuring her birthday and bridal day were exceptionally memorable. Before heading home, I had one final stop planned at Giselle's house of corsets. Knowing Alan's reliance on a high-waist panty girdle during his transformation to Ellen, I sought to replace it with a waist-nipping corset. Greeted by Giselle herself, I explained my preference for a corset and its purpose. Giselle, understanding the request, guided me through a selection of corsets until I found an exquisite lace-up satin garment designed to cinch Ellen's waist by several inches, creating a slim silhouette and accentuating her curves with its hourglass shape. Additionally, the attached garters rendered a separate garter belt unnecessary. As Giselle carefully wrapped the corset in tissue paper and placed it in a gift box, she assured me of Ellen's opportunity for a fitting anytime she desired. She also expressed her willingness to assist Ellen in selecting a garment if she wished to further reduce her waist beyond 6 inches in the future. Giselle suggested considering an over-the-bust garment for Ellen, to which I thanked her for the suggestions and mentioned that I would consider them. With Ellen's new corset paid for, I left the store, satisfied with all that I had accomplished. The following weeks passed swiftly, with my responsibilities including caring for Lily, managing Alan's frequent business trips, and organizing the upcoming birthday and bridal parties. Both my mother and Anna's parents, the Millers, had agreed to join in celebrating Ellen's birthday. I also extended an invitation to my mother to participate in Ellen's bridal party, to which she eagerly accepted, excited to witness Ellen's transformation into a bride. Having informed Lily about Aunt Ellen's special birthday party and emphasizing its confidentiality between us, she nodded understandingly, displaying a wisdom beyond her years. 2 weeks before Ellen's birthday, Joan notified me that my order was ready for pickup. I assured her that I would collect it shortly. Upon my arrival, Joan had everything elegantly displayed for my inspection. The lavender satin lingerie adorned with white lace looked exquisite, evoking images of Ellen in her new undergarments. The crinolines, when worn together, would give Ellen's uniform skirt a voluminous silhouette. The apron, crafted from white satin and lace with long ties, promised a feminine touch with its oversized bow at the back. The lacy cap added a charming finishing touch. However, it was the lavender French maid's uniform that truly stole the show. With a short skirt as per my specifications, delicate cap sleeves, and trimmed with white lace edging, it was a masterpiece of Joan's craftsmanship. I was confident that Ellen would adore it. After settling the remaining balance, Joan carefully packed everything into 2 garment bags, remarking on Ellen's good fortune to receive such a special ensemble. I assured her of Ellen's deserving nature and expressed gratitude for her hard work, promising to return soon for another French maid's uniform, this time in dark green satin. As part of my preparations, I arranged for food delivery for Ellen's party and ensured Ellen's wig was professionally styled by my stylist, Vicky, with a flattering outward flip. On the day prior to the party, Lily and I visited the salon for our hair appointments. While I sat under the dryer, Lily had her hair washed and styled into a charming pixie cut, which Vicky found utterly adorable. Lily beamed with satisfaction at her new look. Meanwhile, my hair was meticulously combed and teased into a style mirroring Ellen's wig. As Vicky applied hairspray to set my hair, Lily requested a spritz for herself, to which Vicky readily complied. During dinner that evening, Ellen praised both our new hairstyles. Lily excitedly hinted at the surprises planned for his birthday the next day, but I gently reminded her to keep it a secret. Alan, curious, looked to me for clarification, and I simply expressed my hope that Ellen would enjoy her special day. His face lit up with anticipation, promising to await the festivities patiently. I suggested he indulge in a leisurely, feminine bath after lunch the following day before preparing as Ellen. Saturday dawned bright and sunny, and after completing a few errands in the morning, Alan joined Lily and me for lunch before preparing for the day ahead. I reminded him to enhance his bath with my scented oils, ensure thorough hair removal, and don my shower cap to protect his hair. Emphasizing the importance of setting a feminine ambience, I instructed him to light scented candles in the bathroom. While Alan indulged in his bath, I dressed Lily in a charming pink satin party dress adorned with lace and ruffles, accompanied by a crinoline, white socks, and Vicky Janes. After tying a large bow at the back of her dress and styling her hair, I sprayed her with a hint of my favorite perfume before she happily skipped off to await the party in the family room. Shortly after, Ellen entered the room, her bath towel draped elegantly around her. Having dusted herself with my scented bath powder and still sporting my shower cap, she exuded a truly feminine aura. I revealed that her birthday gifts included her attire for the day, presenting her with a box containing her lavender satin lingerie. As she unwrapped her present, I observed the delight in her eyes. Hastily discarding her towel, Ellen began to dress, first securing the garter belt around her waist before slipping into her panties and adjusting them meticulously. She then reached for a sanitary pad from my supply, placed it in her panties, and carefully positioned it before donning her bra and silicone forms, creating a lovely silhouette with a C-cup bra. Surprised by the camisole instead of her usual full slip, Ellen proceeded to adorn herself with black seamed stockings, elegantly fastening them to her garter tabs while seated on the bed. Ellen's eyes lit up as she unwrapped her next birthday gift, revealing a pair of pumps nestled in the box. With a smile, she slipped them onto her stocking-clad feet and gracefully approached the mirror to admire her new heels and lingerie. After her brief modeling session, I guided her to my vanity, where I began to apply her makeup and place her freshly styled wig atop her head. To protect her new ensemble, I draped a lavender plastic shampoo cape over Ellen, almost matching her lingerie. As I meticulously applied cosmetics, Ellen remained focused on the entire makeup process, receptive as always. From foundation and powder to lipstick, she eagerly embraced each step. I selected lavender eyeshadow, a rose blush, and red lipstick to complement her features. With her wig secured and a spritz of feminine perfume, Ellen gazed at her reflection with a smile, expressing gratitude for her transformed appearance. Handing her the first garment bag, Ellen eagerly unzipped it, revealing the two starched crinolines. Her anticipation was palpable as she swiftly stepped into both, drawing them up around her waist. With a warm hug and heartfelt birthday wishes, I presented her with the second garment bag. Ellen's excitement was evident as she opened it, expressing her anticipation for its contents, hopeful that they would bring her immense joy. As Ellen unveiled the satin uniform from the bag, she exclaimed, "Lauren, it's beautiful. I absolutely adore the lavender satin." "Thank you." Assisting Ellen, I carefully zipped up the back of the French maid's uniform, tied the apron around her waist, and secured the maid's cap atop her hair. To complement her look, I adorned her neck with a black velvet choker featuring an ivory cameo. Ellen's face beamed with delight as she gracefully curtsied and offered, "Does Madame require any assistance from her French maid in getting ready?" Smiling in return, I simply nodded before capturing several photographs for Ellen's album. From that moment on, Ellen attended to my every need. It was a unique experience, devoid of any intimate implications, to be gently undressed by someone I loved. Ellen carefully removed my white cotton blouse, knee-length denim skirt, and lingerie. Seated on the bed, she selected my evening attire, starting with my lingerie and then my dress. Kneeling down, Ellen delicately rolled stockings up my legs, fastening them to my garter tabs, before assisting me into my panties. She then helped me into an ankle-length satin slip adorned with lace. Guiding me to the vanity, Ellen draped the same shampoo cape over me that I had used moments earlier. She brushed my hair and applied hairspray before skillfully applying my makeup under my direction. As I offered my lips for lipstick application, I couldn't help but notice how much Ellen relished her role as my maid, evident in the meticulousness of her makeup application. I found myself quite pleased with Ellen's choice of attire. She had picked out a light blue satin blouse with short sleeves, featuring a pointed collar left open at the neck, paired with a dark blue satin skirt that fell gracefully below my knees. Assisting me into the ensemble, Ellen then spritzed me with perfume before adorning me with silver drop earrings, a necklace, bracelet, and watch. With the final touches, I felt ready for the evening's festivities, as did Ellen. Emerging from our room, we were greeted by the sound of the doorbell. Swiftly, Ellen moved to answer it while I took a seat, observing her efficiency. It turned out to be the caterer delivering the evening's food. Leading her into the dining area, Ellen directed her on where to set everything up. She ensured the birthday cake was placed on the kitchen table and the servings of ice cream were stored in the freezer. Informing the caterer that clean pans and utensils would be available for pickup the next afternoon, Ellen then handed over the check for the meal, expressed gratitude for her efforts, and bid her farewell. I admired Ellen's adept handling of the situation, particularly noting the graceful sway of her step in the heels and the charming view provided by the uniform's short skirt as she crossed the room. At that moment, Lily emerged from the family room, her eyes lighting up at the sight of Aunt Ellen. She complimented Ellen on her appearance, eliciting a broad smile from her. Ellen returned the compliment, noting how lovely Lily looked in her pink party dress, which brought a smile to Lily's face. As the doorbell rang again, Ellen went to answer it, greeted by the sight of Megan in her French maid's attire and Anna wearing a charming green satin shirtwaist. After exchanging hugs and compliments, Megan and Anna praised Ellen's lavender uniform, with Megan particularly admiring her velvet choker. Blushing with modesty, Ellen graciously accepted the compliments. Upon mention of the choker, I offered Megan a matching one, which Anna promptly fastened around Megan's neck. In the midst of these arrivals, my mother entered, wishing Ellen a happy birthday and embracing her warmly. With the arrival of Daniel and Alice Miller, everyone was present, and I signaled for the maids to begin serving the meal. Megan and Ellen dutifully served each guest in turn, starting with Lily, before I instructed them to prepare their own plates and join us. Initially hesitant, Ellen, in the spirit of her role, began to defer to me, stating that maids should dine separately. I countered, asserting that my request was to be obeyed immediately. With that, both Megan and Ellen gracefully acquiesced, acknowledging me with a curtsy and affirming, "Yes, mistress." Throughout the meal, we engaged in lively conversation. Lily charmed the Millers, maintaining an animated dialogue with them. Anna inquired if Ellen had been surprised by her birthday celebration. Ellen confessed to feeling both surprised and delighted by the festivities, expressing gratitude for the gift of the maid's uniform and lingerie. Following dinner, Megan and Ellen resumed their roles, clearing the table. The group serenaded Ellen with happy birthday, after which Megan cut the cake and served it while Ellen distributed ice cream to everyone. Ellen received 3 gift certificates for her birthday, one from the Millers for a local women's apparel shop, another from Mom for the lingerie boutique, and one from Megan and Anna for makeup, citing its essential nature for every woman. I informed Ellen that I had one final gift for her, to be revealed the following Saturday. Ellen began to protest, expressing her overwhelming gratitude for the apparel and the memorable party. I silenced her with a smile, and she acquiesced, acknowledging, "Yes, mistress, I appreciate your generosity and will eagerly await next Saturday for my final gift." Once the dessert dishes were cleared by the girls, we migrated to the family room for further conversation. Ellen and Megan seamlessly assumed their roles as maids, dutifully serving coffee and tea to the adults and a soda to Lily. Before joining us, they efficiently tidied up, attending to the dishes and utensils, and disposing of the plasticware used during the meal and dessert. They remained attentive, ready to refill coffee or tea as needed. As Lily's bedtime approached, Ellen took her hand tenderly, guiding her to her room to prepare for bed. Shortly after, Lily returned, clad in a cozy nightgown, offering hugs and good-night wishes to each person. Ellen accompanied Lily to read her bedtime stories, and I followed them out of the room. At Lily's door, I observed Ellen tucking her in, then settling on the floor with care not to crease her uniform as she read. It was a heartwarming sight, one I would cherish. Reflecting on the party I had orchestrated for Ellen and the opportunity it afforded Ellen to revel in her role as a French maid, I found myself eagerly anticipating the upcoming Saturday. I hoped Ellen would treasure that experience as much as I did. It's astonishing to think that Ellen's birthday bash was nearly a week ago. She's been buzzing about it incessantly, especially about receiving and wearing that delightful French maid's uniform. Ellen was overjoyed that Mom, Megan, Anna, and the Millers joined in celebrating with her, and that she and Megan played the roles of our maids for the evening. Since the party, Alan has been remarkably patient, though I could sense his curiosity bubbling beneath the surface. All I've told him is to be up early, ready for his bath. Currently, he's tending to Lily's bedtime routine while I indulge in a relaxing bath and fix my hair. With rollers set in my hair and a satin sleep bonnet in place, I slip into a luxurious waltz-length satin nightgown. As Alan emerges from Lily's room, there's a sudden spark of interest in his eyes. I approach him with a hug, asking what I can do for him. He meets my gaze and requests that I style his hair so that Ellen can also sleep in rollers tonight. Without hesitation, I guide him to the bathroom, where he disrobes his shirt and undershirt. Draping a towel over his shoulders, I dampen his hair with water and carefully comb through it to eliminate any tangles. Applying styling gel, I work it into his hair before securing several smaller rollers in place, despite his hair not being particularly long. After I finished styling her hair, Ellen made her way to our bedroom and changed into a waltz-length satin nightgown that matched mine. She then inquired if I had another sleep bonnet to cover her rollers. Scouring through my belongings, I discovered a ruffled pink satin one, which I handed to her. With a smile, Ellen slipped it over her rollers as she settled into bed. Seeing my adorable Ellen in her charming nightgown and hair bonnet, I drifted off to sleep in her embrace, anticipating the day ahead. The next morning, we were roused from our slumber by the ringing doorbell. Throwing on a quilted robe and my fluffy slippers, I answered the door to find Mom standing there, holding a garment bag containing her mother-of-the-bride dress. She entered, placing her dress on the sofa before heading to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. Barely had she started when Megan and Anna arrived, both looking elegant in matching tan cotton skirts and white cotton blouses, carrying their bridesmaids' gowns. By then, both Lily and Ellen were up and had joined us in the kitchen. Ellen, still wearing her robe over her nightgown and adorned with her satin hair bonnet, slipped her feet into soft, feminine slippers. She made sure Lily was similarly attired before descending to the kitchen. When Ellen spotted everyone gathered, she turned to me, seeking an explanation. Seizing the moment, I decided it was the perfect time to unveil the plan. I informed Ellen that the final part of her birthday surprise involved being adorned and celebrated as a bride. Mom would assume the role of mother of the bride, while I would be her matron of honor. Megan and Anna would serve as her bridesmaids, with Lily as the adorable flower girl. A photographer would soon arrive to capture the essence of Ellen's special day. Additionally, the florist was set to deliver the bridal and bridesmaids' bouquets, and the bakery would bring in the two-tiered wedding cake. Vicky, our trusted hairstylist, would also be present to embellish Ellen's bridal look with makeup and make any last-minute adjustments to her wig. Just as I finished explaining, the doorbell chimed, signaling the arrival of the photographer. Even before arranging her equipment for post shots, she snapped a few spontaneous pictures of the breakfast gathering. Ellen playfully protested, claiming she wasn't ready for photographs without her makeup. Undeterred, the photographer captured some charming shots of Ellen in her nightgown, robe, soft slippers, and satin hair bonnet. Mom had prepared enough food for everyone, including the photographer, fostering a warm atmosphere of mingling, eating, chatting, and laughter in the kitchen. After the cleanup, it was time for everyone to get dressed. Megan and Anna retreated to the spare bedroom to prepare, while Mom and Lily headed to Lily's room, where Mom would assist Lily with her outfit. Ellen retreated to the bathroom, shedding her attire for a luxurious bubble bath. The photographer seized the opportunity to capture candid moments of Ellen submerged in bubbles, sporting a pink shower cap. As I hastily adorned myself in my gold satin lingerie and completed my makeup and hair, Ellen emerged from her bath, wrapped discreetly in a towel. She patiently waited until I had donned my gown before stepping forward to assist with zipping it up. My gown, crafted from gold satin, featured short sleeves and a draped cowl neckline. Fitted at the waist, it cascaded gracefully into a floor-length skirt. With me dressed, it was now Ellen's turn to undergo her transformation into a radiant bride. Handing her the package from Giselle's, I watched as Ellen's surprise and delight lit up her face upon discovering the exquisite satin corset inside. Assisting her, I tightened the laces to achieve the desired waist reduction. As she adorned herself in her new white satin bra, she discovered that the corset had enhanced her figure sufficiently, rendering her silicone forms unnecessary. Slipping into her lacy panties and ensuring proper placement, Ellen then delicately pulled her wedding stockings up her sleek legs, adeptly fastening them to the garter tabs. With her bridal garter positioned just below the top of her stockings, she stepped into her white heels before slipping on a full, ankle-length slip. Observing her as she traced the lace adorning her newly enhanced bosom, I couldn't help but feel a swell of pride. Vicky entered the room and directed Ellen to the vanity, where she draped a shampoo cape over Ellen's lingerie-clad form before commencing her work on Ellen's face. With the photographer documenting every step, Vicky began the process. She initiated by using cleansing pads to rid Ellen's face of any residual makeup and to open up her pores. A thin layer of liquid foundation was expertly applied, seamlessly blending into her skin. Powder followed, giving her complexion a smooth finish. Employing shades of gold and rose, Vicky applied eyeshadow to Ellen's eyelids, enhancing their allure. Mascara accentuated both upper and lower lashes, lending her eyes a captivating depth. Delicately, rose blush was brushed beneath her eyes and along her cheekbones, adding a hint of color. After outlining Ellen's lips with a lipstick pencil, Vicky applied a rose lipstick and a clear lip gloss, achieving a luscious effect. Securing the freshly styled wig onto Ellen's head, Vicky presented her with the finished look. Even from a distance, I could discern Ellen's astonished gasp. She remained momentarily speechless, prompting Vicky to offer a reassuring hug, affirming that every bride deserved to feel beautiful on her wedding day. Removing the shampoo cape, Vicky observed as I completed Ellen's attire. My bridal crinoline lay on the floor, awaiting Ellen's careful step into it. Once she was settled, I pulled it up and fastened it around her waist. Assisted by Vicky, I guided Ellen into my wedding gown, a resplendent creation of white satin and lace featuring short puff sleeves, a voluminous skirt, a sweetheart neckline, and a trailing train. With each button fastened meticulously up the back of Ellen's gown, I couldn't help but reflect on the similar gesture my own mother had performed for me on my wedding day. As Vicky assisted Ellen to take a seat before the vanity, I retrieved my veil. Before Vicky secured Ellen's veil in place, I adorned her with a pearl necklace and earrings, followed by a delicate spritz of perfume. Vicky then carefully pinned the satin rose headpiece into her hair, ensuring the fingertip blusher fell gracefully. Vicky seated me at the vanity and deftly adorned my hair with a large gold satin bow, complete with elegant streamers, perfectly complementing my gown. With her skirt lifted carefully, Ellen proceeded toward the family room, where everyone awaited her eagerly. Lily, dressed enchantingly as the flower girl, wore a charming white satin dress with short sleeves and a full skirt, embellished with simulated seed pearls on the bodice, satin rosettes at the waist, and delicate lace detailing around the arms and neckline. Adorning her hair was a delightful spray of white satin roses with simulated pearl accents, while her wrists were adorned with gloves trimmed with floral accents. Mom, radiating joy as the mother of the bride, donned a long knit dress and jacket in a soft shade of light blue, her expression reflecting pride and happiness as she laid eyes on Ellen, almost as if Ellen were her own daughter about to embark on marital bliss. Megan and Anna, resplendent in matching red satin bridesmaids' gowns, wore sleeveless dresses with full skirts and straight necklines. Their hair was adorned with red bows, reminiscent of the gold satin bow in my hair. I noticed they both wore 4-inch heels. Handing Ellen her bridal bouquet, Anna presented me with my own. In that moment, Ellen's joy was palpable, her radiance akin to that of a bride on her wedding day, despite the occasion technically not being her wedding day. The photographer began orchestrating the post shots, starting with Ellen's official full-length bridal portrait. With her bouquet delicately held at her waist, Ellen beamed brightly, her smile genuine even before the photographer could prompt her. Another portrait followed, with her veil gracefully lowered over her face, eliciting a whispered "thank you" from Ellen as I adjusted it for her. Close-up shots were then captured, showcasing Ellen with her veil in both positions, and at my request, highlighting her corset-enhanced upper body. Next, the entire wedding party assembled for group photos. I stood beside Ellen, with Megan and Anna positioned on the opposite side. Mom stood next to me, while Lily stood in front of her Aunt Megan and Aunt Anna. Various compositions were arranged, including shots of Ellen with Mom, Ellen with Lily and me, and individual portraits of Ellen alongside each of us. Ellen was also photographed flanked by Megan and Anna, and then with all three honor attendants together. Mom's joy was evident, almost matching Ellen's own happiness. In the center of the room, a chair draped in white satin awaited Ellen. With Megan and Anna flanking her, they gently lifted Ellen's gown to reveal the bridal garter, a customary moment captured in what many refer to as cheesecake shots. Despite the slightly humorous nature of these poses, Ellen's smile remained radiant throughout. Following this, Ellen participated in the traditional cake-cutting ceremony. I took a slice and fed it to her, and in return, she fed me a piece, sealing the moment with a loving kiss. This candid shot now holds a special place in Ellen's photo album. With the photography session concluded, everyone indulged in slices of wedding cake. Vicky, who had stayed until the end, skillfully cut the cake for us. While I don't recall the taste of my own wedding cake, I can attest that Ellen's cake was the sweetest I've ever tasted. However, as quickly as the celebration had begun, it was time for us to change back into our everyday attire. Everyone dispersed to their rooms to change, and I assisted Ellen back to ours. It was bittersweet removing my wedding gown from her, and Ellen seemed equally reluctant to part with the white satin and lace creation. However, I reassured her that she was welcome to wear it any time she pleased. As I began to remove the corset, Ellen surprised me by expressing her desire to continue wearing it for the rest of the day. Once we had neatly stored Ellen's attire, I shed my matron of honor gown with Ellen's help, and we changed into matching gold satin blouses, black A-line skirts, and lacy white satin slips. While dressing, Ellen expressed her gratitude for the experiences of being a French maid and a bride, noting how wonderful it had been to wear my wedding gown. I reciprocated her sentiment, expressing my joy in witnessing her embrace these feminine experiences. With our 3-inch black patent pumps on, we rejoined the rest of the family. Mom proposed going out for dinner, her treat, at a casual family-style restaurant, which everyone readily agreed upon as a fitting end to the day. During dinner, Mom remarked on the prospect of having pictures in her family room featuring all 3 girls who had worn my wedding gown, alongside pictures from Megan and Anna's weddings, each bride in her own gown. She expressed her contentment in having 2 daughters, 2 daughters-in-law, and a granddaughter, noting her pride in each of us and the partners we had chosen for life's journey. As Mom delivered her heartfelt words, a collective blush swept over us. She concluded by expressing her love for having all her children embrace wearing skirts, whether on a part-time or full-time basis. Megan hugged Anna, and I did the same with Ellen, our emotions nearly bringing tears of happiness. Lily's timely chatter diverted us from a potential emotional overflow, eliciting smiles all around. Back home, Ellen and I assisted Lily in preparing for bed, and I stayed to witness Ellen reading her several bedtime stories. By the end of the 3rd tale, Lily was fast asleep. Quietly slipping out, Ellen and I walked arm in arm to our room. Retrieving the box containing Ellen's new wedding night negligee from the closet, I handed it to her, despite her initial protests about having done enough for her. I silenced her objections with a tender kiss. As Ellen opened the box and admired the lovely negligee, I explained that it was customary for every bride to wear a pretty negligee on her wedding night. With a smile, Ellen quickly undressed, seeking my assistance in removing her corset before slipping into the silky, satiny negligee. Selecting a gold satin negligee for myself, Ellen then helped me undress, preparing us both for bed. As we settled between the satin sheets in our satin negligees, I sensed Ellen's appreciation for my efforts on her behalf. Seeing her revel in her femininity filled me with a profound sense of contentment. Reflecting on our journey, I couldn't help but think how our wedding night would have been different had I known about Ellen before we married. Nonetheless, I resolved to plan more special moments for my beloved Ellen, recognizing her as the remarkable person she is.